Okay, fine, fine. I guess we're gonna go over this today. I am not too in the mood to go over the in-game part of World of Warcraft, which is kind of weird because, it's cloudy outside, it's finally cold, it's raining, so I should be in a good mood. But we're gonna go over the lawsuit that is pending over Activision Blizzard, one of the numerous lawsuits that recently have been popping up against big corporations, big companies. In this case, it's discrimination against female employees by the California Department of Fair Employment. So this lawsuit, I'm sure most of you have already read, at the very least, the general idea of the lawsuit, which includes several so-called frat culture or frat behavior inside the workplace, all generally intended to be amongst men, amongst guys, and more often than not, also being inappropriate towards the women in the workplace. And then there is the other part. Besides the general behavior of the men in the workplace, there is the general behavior towards the women. Outside of the whole sexual harassment is about the discriminatory practices regarding pay, work assignment, promotions, other terms and conditions which men generally benefit from, and instead women were going to be negatively affected from, starting from being offered at lower compensation values, less lucrative job assignments and opportunities than the male counterparts. So this goes from unequal pay to discrimination, harassment, retaliation in case you were trying to speak out about said discrimination, etc., etc. We have seen actually something similar with Riot Games, right? A couple of times already, this similar situation. Again, another California-based company. I'm not saying that there is something weird with California, or it just happens there. It's just interesting. Of course, over the next following days, it's been a ping pong of statements. You had the statement of the president of Blizzard, Alan Brack. You had the statement from one of the Blizzard executives, Fran Townsend, saying basically the same thing. We work at a company that truly values equality and fairness. Rest assured that leadership is committed to continuing to maintain a safe, fair, and inclusive workplace. We put tremendous effort into creating fair compensation policies. We review compensation regularly and feel confident that we pay all employees fairly for equal or substantial similar work. We cannot let egregious actions of others and a truly meritless and irresponsible lawsuit damage our culture of respect and equal opportunity for all employees. So, basically the exact opposite of what the lawsuit is saying. It's also particularly interesting because said executive, Fran Townsend, has been at Blizzard for a grand total of 5 months. So one has to wonder what exactly are her experiences in Blizzard, given her tenure at the company has been so short. And then you had gamers. Gamers, of course, getting the handle of things, creating a Oribus sit-in in protest against Blizzard. For some reason, they had a fundraiser, and the money raised went to Black Girls Code. Okay, I don't think that was the issue, but sure. Of course, it went nowhere. It served absolutely no purpose. As it often happens, this is akin to changing your avatar, your profile picture, to a flag of the country that got hit by a terrorist attack. And then, of course, reminding everyone that you're praying for them. That's just about the same effect it's going to have. You also had, lastly, as of very recently, the thoughts and messages from Mike Morhaime and Chris Metzen. Mike Morhaime being the former president of Blizzard, and of course Chris Metzen, the Blizzard vice president, and also many other roles throughout the years. Those are a little bit on the nose in the sense that both Mike Morhaime and Chris Metzen are now part and shareholders of new companies that they founded after leaving Blizzard, so they have a reputation to uphold. They have duties to their shareholders and their investors of their companies to look clean and be completely outside of any of this, so they had to pull themselves out immediately. It is kind of pointless to see good old Chris Metzen typing, "This is later than it should have been. We failed. I'm sorry." Yeah, I mean, man, you could have written this 3 years ago, or 5, or possibly 6, not literally 2 days after a lawsuit hits your old company. That makes you look a little bit bad. So throughout all of this, I have already seen plenty of people chiming in, saying their 2 cents, their 50 cents, maybe even an entire banknote worth of points and thoughts. all with their own opinions and statements, boisterous and grandiose statements about the fact and the matter at hand. If you came here opening this video because you wanted to feed through more drama, more hot takes to see what this other guy is saying, well, you have come to the right place, because my thought on the matter is that personally, for now, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. The reason why I don't care is because these are allegations, and I am not going to judge anyone on anything unless I know for sure what they have done. So all of this is troubling. It underlines something that has been accused of before, and multiple other companies have been accused of before, but for the moment nobody knows anything for sure, and that is all there is to it. I have no particular opinion on the matter, because I don't want to be the one who does this to someone else. You can translate this in any other way. You can think about your little brother, whom you love very much, and one day you hear knocking and there is police at the front door, and they're gonna bring him for questioning because of an alleged rape charge. Well, it's not that I would suddenly disown my own brother and consider him guilty of the act. I would like to see some proof first. I would like to understand exactly what happened. This same thing, even more so because it is not something I care about. It is not something close to me that I hold dear, like in the example of a brother. If it is something so huge as an entire company worth billions with claims and counterclaims spanning like hundreds and hundreds of different employees going back years, if not decades, there is even more stuff to consider there. So I don't feel comfortable throwing accusation at people, judging people, and just condemning people before I even know exactly what they did. And that is what I wish people would have done from the start. Instead, what we have been seeing is just people jumping on the hate train and just treating the accused as the guilty, when as of right now they are just the accused and nothing else. I thought about this on my way home, on my way from nowhere. I haven't left my house yet. I don't know why I said that, but I thought about it on my way through the corridor from the kitchen to my room. I thought, what if it was Blizzard? What if it was Blizzard accusing 57 different employees of filing false charges, of filing false claims of sexual assault or false charges of abuse and whatnot, in an attempt at blackmailing Blizzard, blackmailing HR for getting compensation or perhaps promotions or any type of corporate advantage with those claims? Would people automatically tag those employees as guilty because they're being charged and accused? That's the same position I put myself in. I wouldn't. You can make the distinctions that has been used before, which is a lot of these type of things come to who is in a position of power, so who is holding the control in the situation. So the mega billion-dollar company accusing its tiny little defenseless ant employees is different than the employee, the little ant, going against the big giant, right? There is a clear power dynamic in place, which is obviously different. So generally you tend to believe the little guy. You tend to cheer for the little guy and give the little guy the benefit of the doubt, because of course the big guy is big, he is strong, very often he's power hungry. In this case he might be money hungry, right? So he's much less trusty. In this case, I tend to believe the allegation, at the very least, in a broad, general term, right? I don't think it is a coordinated conspiracy by several people across several years of Blizzard Entertainment Company workplace settings, as well as spanning different teams in different locations, even from Overwatch to World of Warcraft, to Hearthstone, to Diablo, and even different things like the esports department or the programming department, the art style and creative department, etc., etc. So generally speaking, I tend to believe them. But when you're talking about serious charges and allegations, I can't just trust them blindly. So while I generally tend on their side, I still need to have a little bit more of a definitive sentence on this. However, if we had to be cynical, if we had to be honest, just between the two of us, very likely this is not going to bring anything. If we have to be honest, this is going to bring a couple of people, perhaps 3 or 4 people, to be swept under the rug. Maybe 1 or 2 are going to be given out to the sharks, right? as the scapegoats, and then the rest is going to continue as follows. There is not going to be any major difference. This is a giga-billion-dollar company. It is not going to be shaken by some puny workplace misadventures. This is how sad as it is, but it is the truth. This is not really going to change anything. I've heard people saying, oh yes, this is going to be the time to just turn over the whole mentality of the company. It's time for a turnover. It's time to completely shake things up. No, it's time for nothing. This is not going to change anything, unfortunately. Again, assuming this is the truth, assuming this is going to turn out to be a very serious case of workplace misconducts, it's still not going to change anything. It is still very likely not going to shake things up majorly within the company. That is how I feel about the whole thing, if you wanted my take. It's sad if it's going to be true. It's likely true for the most part. I'm waiting eventual sentences and statements from the actual court that will have to go through this to see some more light being shed on this. But even if it is fully true, even if many of these things claimed are actually correct and truthful, I don't think it's going to amount to much. We are in a classic case of too big to fall. It's not, unfortunately, a bunch of complaints from a handful of white-collar job peons that are going to change the big execs at the top and the way they handle things. As I said, there are likely going to be a few scapegoats, there are likely going to be a few people just let go quietly, something like that, but I don't think it's going to change much. I hope it will, if many of these things are true, but I am staying real here, and I don't think they will. That's my take. So, now you know how I feel about this, and I will not pronounce myself any further on this subject unless something crazy comes out. This is the last time I will mention this. This is the last time I will point this out, because I think that beyond just this, it's probably going to be just milking it. I'm already imagining some other people furiously rubbing their hands as a new statement comes out, because they can already pinpoint the exact clickbait thumbnail they can make about the new crazy statement made by this Blizzard guy. You won't believe what he just said. Oh my god, click here. No, I won't. That won't be me, sorry. So, we can stop here now. Thank you guys for watching this frankly depressing video. It wasn't a fun video to make. I think it was necessary though, given the seriousness of the situation, we can say. Let me guys know or not what you think about this. I hope none of you is too drastic on either side, because I've already read drastic people. There is one side saying these are just some flimsy, touchy SJWs getting offended because some Chad undid her bra at work for a joke. And then there is the other side who says that most of these people are sexual predators, rapists, and general felons who should be imprisoned. I hope you will have a, I guess, in-between, medium, and rather balanced take on this. Or you don't, I don't care, honestly. See you guys soon, likely tomorrow, for the reset. And in the meantime, I wonder if it was noticeable that I've been turning 180 degrees around my chair for the past like 5 minutes. Ooh.